Gloria, Tony, back to you.
Thank you, Claire. There may soon be a new mode of transportation up Burnaby Mountain. A plan has been refloated to build a gondola that would move students and other passengers efficiently up to SFU. Alan Waterman explains.
Think of this here. TransLink is thinking about running a gondola service up Burnaby Mountain. Yesterday it put out a call to private companies, not for tenders, but for answers.
How well could something like this perform? Could it perform better and at a lower cost than what we're doing now, which of course is pushing big buses up and down the mountain?
As many as 24 times a year, those buses don't even make it up the hill. So they're entertaining the idea of a 2.5-kilometer gondola trek to SFU, similar to Portland's tram to the University Hospital and inspired by Whistler's Peak to Peak. The idea of going from up there down to here by gondola is not new. It was first proposed back in 1999. Trouble is, until now, it's never gained any traction. Between students, staff, and residents, close to 50,000 people commute up and down the mountain by bus and car. The man pushing for the gondola wants to change that.
If we can have half of those carried by a gondola, we're doing it more cost effectively, more efficiently, certainly reducing greenhouse gas emissions dramatically.
Harris figures emissions would be reduced by 1,900 tons each year, and the number of buses on the hill would be halved. But is it possible? One of the engineers behind the Peak to Peak thinks so.
Once you know the possibilities for gondolas and so on, I mean, Peak to Peak was a perfect example of doing something extraordinary. But fundamentally, it's quite simple.
TransLink wants answers by March, and then it will see if the fantasy becomes a reality. Alan Waterman, CBC News, Burnaby.
Coming up after the break, we're going to